There is only one essential thing that makes you successfully settle in a new country. Everything else can come later. Your new work is an essential part of your life in the new country. Therefore, for you to develop your nice lifestyle, you have to find a nice working place and interact with the people around you. Here, I'm going to show you how to search for your new working opportunity in Canada. You have here 1. Job searching rule, 2. Templates, 3. Tips. These videos will help you to find and get your work, adjust yourself to it, and settle in your new Canadian life. 1. Job searching rule. Job searching rule explanation.
10 Weird Interview Questions, with Sample Answers and Tips. October 12, 2021 by Indeed editorial team. During job interviews, hiring managers sometimes ask weird interview questions that surprise you. These questions require strong creativity and critical thinking skills. By understanding how to answer these interview questions, you can increase your chances of being hired and establish a strong professional relationship with the hiring manager. In this article, we discuss why interviewers ask these questions, mention several interview questions and their sample answers, and provide you with tips to succeed in interviews. Why do employers ask weird interview questions? Employers ask weird interview questions for several reasons. For example, they may ask you weird questions to identify how you respond to unexpected situations or to situations that you find surprising. Employers may also ask these questions to test your ability to think critically. Employers rarely expect specific answers when asking these questions. Instead, they expect you to answer analytically while demonstrating your strong skill set. 10 Weird Interview Questions. Here is a list of interview questions that may seem weird. 1. Let's say you're stranded on another planet. How do you solve problems? This question identifies whether you demonstrate problem-solving skills and what you consider to be problems. Your answer identifies whether you have the ability to adapt to new environments and circumstances. Example: if I were on another planet, I imagine that planet would have its own set of problems for which I lack knowledge. I would first spend time researching the causes and effects of their various problems. From here, I could offer potential solutions. 2. What do you think of garden gnomes? Hiring managers ask weird questions like these during interviews as icebreakers. They provide the hiring manager with information about your general personality. Example: I think garden gnomes have awesome jobs. If I could spend my days in a garden all day, I absolutely would. 3. Let's say someone gives you an elephant that you can't give away or sell. What would you do with it? This question provides hiring managers with information about your decision-making and reasoning skills. They may ask you this question to understand how you prioritize and solve problems. Example: if I can't send the elephant back to its natural environment, I think I'll develop its own environment on my property. I'd hire someone who knows about elephants' environmental requirements to ensure it has everything it needs. It would be like a small vacation. 4. If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be? This answer provides hiring managers with information about your strengths and weaknesses. When answering, explain which qualities you associate with that specific tree and how they reflect you. Example: I think I'd be a Douglas fir. Those trees are large and are some of the biggest evergreen trees in the country. I appreciate how strong they are, and I think I demonstrate that strength in my practice. 5. Would you consider yourself a hunter or gatherer? Interviewers may ask you this question to identify your strengths and weaknesses. When answering this question, you may find it beneficial to provide qualities that fit the specific job position. You may also want to explain your reasoning for your choice. Hunters may be more assertive, while gatherers may be multitaskers. Example: I consider myself to be a gatherer. This is because I'm best at collecting and analyzing data. Following this, I also interpret it for my reports. I have strong attention to detail and am a multitasker who understands the holistic goal of the company while completing daily tasks. 6. Let's say you're stranded on an island and could only bring 3 items. Which items would you bring? This question identifies both your creativity and innovative skills. This also shows the hiring manager your priorities and demonstrates your problem-solving skills. Example: the 3 things I would bring are a laptop, solar power generator, and a lighter. I would bring the solar power generator to charge my laptop battery and to use it for electricity should I need it while being stranded. I would use the lighter to start a fire, which would provide me with warmth and allow me to cook meals. 7. What animal symbolizes who you are? Hiring managers may ask you this question to identify your creativity and your ability to provide a thoughtful answer. You may find it beneficial to think about what makes you unique and to analyze your individuality when answering. Consider your strengths and weaknesses, along with which animals represent these qualities. Example, if I had to choose an animal that represents myself, I would choose a horse. They're strong and capable of completing work both independently and as a team member. Horses are also active listeners and are skilled enough to adapt to any situation. I absolutely relate to their dedication and ability to work. 8. If you could be any color of crayon, which would you be? This question provides hiring managers with information about your particular qualities and priorities. When answering, you may find it beneficial to describe why you chose the color you do. Example, I'd consider myself to be a purple crayon. That's because I associate purple with peace and calm, which is a presence I try to demonstrate at work. It also reminds me of creativity and maintaining calm in a fast-paced environment. I also show strong leadership skills that remind me of the boldness of the color purple. 9. What would you do if you won the lottery tomorrow? Hiring managers ask this question to determine whether you enjoy your job and whether you'd continue being motivated to work. When answering, you may want to show employers that you're motivated beyond salary and job security. Example, the first thing I would do is take some time to travel. I would also donate some money to charity and buy a house for my mom, who's my biggest supporter. When I complete these 3 tasks, I would come back to work at this company. I love your industry and I believe in your values and goals. Winning the lottery wouldn't affect my career goals. 10. If you could choose superpowers, which would you choose? Hiring managers ask you this question to identify whether you have strong leadership skills. When answering this question, you may find it beneficial to consider whether you would want to obtain popularity or use your powers discreetly. Example, I would choose flying as my superpower. I love taking charge and showing initiative, which I could do if I knew how to fly. I know I can work independently, which I would demonstrate with this superpower. Since I love collaborating as a team, I would also bring people flying with me. Tips to succeed in interviews. Here are some tips to help you succeed in interviews. Think before answering. When an interviewer asks a weird question during your meeting, you may find it beneficial to take the time required to think before providing an answer. When doing this, you can be honest with the hiring manager and tell them that you require additional time to think of an answer. This shows the hiring manager that you care about providing a thoughtful answer and that you're not afraid to express your needs. Ask questions. Hiring managers often ask these questions to identify whether you have critical thinking skills. You may subsequently find it beneficial to ask follow-up questions that provide you with more information and that provide you with more time to think about an answer. When answering the question, consider speaking out loud to demonstrate your thought process. This shows the hiring manager that you have strong critical thinking skills and establishes the reasoning behind your follow-up questions. Think about the job position. Hiring managers ask you particular questions to identify whether you're the right person for the job position. You may find it beneficial to think about the specific job position and the job posting when answering these questions. For example, if the job posting discusses a requirement for strong critical thinking skills, you may want to include these skills in your answer.
Have the other related videos come to you? They will help you to move and adjust yourself to your new life here in Canada. You do not want to miss this opportunity to educate yourself. I wish I could say some nice words and cool you down, but here is the thing. You have to go deep into your practice to develop your skills to talk. We post here 1 video every day. Videos of English, French and on the Canadian job market. We teach you the basics of grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary in English and French. Also, to improve your chances to get a job in Canada, you can have this if you hit the subscribe button and bell icon to receive the other videos and increase your ability to speak and settle in Canada. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon and go with us on this journey. Point 2. Templates. Templates texts.
Templates TEXTS 7 elements of a written job offer. Details and terms October 18, 2021 by Indeed editorial team. A written employment offer is a formal invitation to accept a job. It determines various conditions and responsibilities of your role if you accept it. Understanding the right conditions to accept in a written employment offer can help you choose which job offers to accept and which ones to decline. In this article, we define a written job offer, discuss why it's important, review its common features, and explore when to accept, negotiate, or decline a written employment contract. What's a written job offer? A written job offer is a formal letter by an organization that invites a candidate for employment. It gives details such as the job description, management structure, salary, benefits, and other employment details. The job offer can also depend on the candidate completing additional steps, like a pre-employment drug test or a background check. If you accept the offer, sign it and return it as a formal acceptance of the job. You can make a counter-offer or decline if the offer includes information about the role or compensation package that isn't what you expected. Why is a written offer of employment important? A written employment contract is important for three main reasons. 1. Clarifies specific employment details. The primary aim of a written employment offer is to clarify specific job details. You learn about your responsibilities and salary, including a part-time or full-time job, among other details. It's also an opportunity to confirm verbal agreements on the job offer. For example, if you verbally agree on a salary of $65,000, make sure the written offer reflects the $65,000 you discussed. 2. Shows serious intent from the potential employer. A job offer becomes more formal when it's written and shows the employer's intent. It also helps avoid future disagreements and miscommunications about the job offer. An employment offer provides a paper trail that acts as evidence of employment details. 3. Works as a legal agreement. Once a company makes an offer, it's harder to withdraw because a paper trail could expose them to liability. For example, the company can be liable for discrimination if there's evidence that they've rescinded their offer based on your age, race, or gender. This can help ensure that once the company makes an offer, it's yours to accept or reject regardless of your demographic. Elements of a written work affair. A well-written employment offer has the following elements: job title and description. A written work offer highlights the job title and gives other details about the job. It also lets you know who your supervisor is and the job responsibilities. Most employers state that the job responsibilities are subject to change. A written employment offer specifies your work schedule to know whether your position is part-time or full-time. It also specifies if the position is in-house, remote, or hybrid. A well-written work offer specifies break requirements, overtime pay policies, and the organization's timekeeping process. Assess the letter to know if the position is exempt or non-exempt from overtime pay. Important dates. A written work offer specifies important dates of your employment so you can prepare for them. The hiring manager may discuss the dates in the interview, but it's easy to lose track without a written reference. Examples of important dates in an employment offer include orientation, job start date, performance management, and evaluation periods. Companies that have evaluation periods so that they have a culture that thrives on feedback and improvement. A written employment offer also features the expiry date. You can refer to the expiry date to determine how long you have to make a decision. Compensation benefits and terms. Compensation benefits and terms are important to determine the value of the work you do. It specifies your salary, pay, holidays, and paid time off. Some companies offer equity and benefits as part of the compensation. A good job offer may feature health insurance, paid time off, retirement plans, life insurance, accidental death and dismemberment coverage, and short-term and long-term disability. The offer may not include all benefits, but make sure you're comfortable with them before you accept it. Your employer can communicate further details of the benefits package during orientation. Company policies and culture. The company policies and culture section briefly introduced the work environment to the candidate. It also includes a statement to clarify that the employment is subject to company procedures and policies, which they can revise at their discretion. It can briefly highlight the company's mission or vision. Consider a job offer that shows excitement to have you as part of the team. A written work offer also includes the contact information for someone you can reach out to with questions. Statement of at-will employment. Written employment offer includes a statement of at-will employment to avoid making it a contractual agreement. The employer may include attachments that strictly say that a written work offer is not a binding contract. A statement of at-will employment means that the candidates or employees can end the working relationship. Most job offers include the duration of the employment if the position is temporary. Employers also use it to avoid cases of retaliation, discrimination, promises of indefinite future employment and promotions, limitations on terminations, or other special circumstances. Relevant documents. An employment contract also features some documents relevant to the job. Most of the documents usually protect the employer in various ways, such as lawsuits or competition. A written work offer is usually contingent on providing or signing the relevant documents. Some common documents and clauses in a written employment offer include a non-disclosure or confidentiality agreement. A non-disclosure agreement states sensitive information that both parties keep private. Breaching a non-disclosure or confidentiality agreement can lead to lawsuits or losing your job. Some sensitive company information includes communications, product design, financial reports, or other internal items. Non-compete document or clause. Non-compete document or clause is an agreement between two parties where one does not compete with the other for a certain period. It can prevent you from working in the same industry as the employer in their employer's geographic region for some period. You can only seek alternative employment once the agreement lapses. Arbitration clause. An arbitration clause is an agreement between an employer and employee to settle disputes through a third party rather than a lawsuit. It's important to be aware of such agreements in your written work offer. Arbitration clauses can cause legal limitations in the course of your employment. A list of contingencies. A list of contingencies in a job offer are conditions an employer has for hiring a job candidate. Some contingencies include a background check, reference check, a valid driver's license, certification, market impact assessment, a document foreign workers have for employment in Canada, accepting, negotiating, and declining a written employment offer. You can choose from 3 options after receiving a job offer. Whether you accept, negotiate, or decline, be sure you do so within the allotted time, typically indicated in the offer. Here are some considerations for each option. Accepting an employment offer. You can accept an employment contract by signing it and returning it to the hiring manager or employer. Communicate your interest and gratitude as quickly as possible over the phone or email. Candidates have the following options when accepting a written work offer. Accept the offer immediately, even though there's a lot to consider. Ask for a few days to contemplate the offer. Negotiates new employment terms and conditions. Negotiating an employment offer. Negotiate a new written offer by making a counteroffer, and you may receive better employment terms. Conduct research to know your worth to ensure you get appropriate compensation or benefits. Ask for more information from the employer where necessary, and be wary of the deadline for responses. Call or email the hiring manager to propose and discuss a counteroffer. Some employers may state in the written offer that the terms are non-negotiable. If the terms are non-negotiable, you can either accept or decline the job offer. Declining an employment offer. Turn down an offer if you don't find the terms favorable and there is no possibility for further negotiations. Avoid feeling pressured to accept a job offer if it doesn't suit your interest or goals. Be polite and professional when declining a job offer to avoid damaging relationships. Some candidates may fail to respond to a written employment offer if they find the terms unfavorable, potentially damaging future relationships. Write a formal letter to decline a job offer and thank everyone for facilitating the interview process. Some of the specific reasons to turn down a job opportunity include salary and benefits are below market average, organizational values differ from personal values, work life and personal life fail to balance, a job doesn't further your professional and personal goals.
Get all the videos and you can increase your knowledge on how to contact your future employer in Canada, how to write a nice resume and cover letter, and to search for a nice job. 3 tips, free tips.
COVID-19 and your job tips and actions to consider. March 1, 2021, by Indeed editorial team. COVID-19 continues to dominate the news cycle and raise important questions around healthcare and prevention. The spread of the virus has more recently caused the cancellation of many events and conferences, and many employers have asked their workforce to work from home. In this article, we offer actionable steps you can take to position yourself for success during an unpredictable and challenging season. Staying productive during COVID-19, depending on your situation, there are a number of steps you can take to be proactive when it comes to supporting yourself and your loved ones and being content at work. Here are tips by circumstance. If you're currently searching for a job, searching for a new job, whether you currently have one or not, can feel confusing and challenging with both you and the companies you're applying for. Trying to take the best steps in the interest of health and productivity, there may be an added level of complexity when trying to get a job, so if you're job searching, remember to keep applying. If you're not hearing back from employers, maintain momentum by applying to jobs that match your skills, experience, and qualifications. The employers may be taking some time to answer questions that may affect their conversation with you, such as whether their workforce should work remotely. Set a daily application goal and reward yourself in small, meaningful ways after reaching it, such as reading your favorite book or meeting a friend for coffee. Do regular reevaluations to optimize your search. Reevaluate your cover letter, resume, and even the jobs you're applying to every week or so. Ask yourself, are the jobs I'm applying to a good fit for my skills, background, and level of experience? Is my resume enticing to employers based on their job posting? Does my cover letter expand on my most relevant experiences and qualities as it pertains to each specific job? Tailor your resume and cover letter. If you're not already, make it a point to update your resume and cover letter for each job application. Review the job posting and apply relevant keywords. Address any requirements, skills, and qualities you have that are also in the job posting. Supplement your income if necessary. You might consider looking for part-time, remote, or gig work until you get an offer. Doing so can keep your skills sharp and provide extra income. If you need gig work fast, gig work is a great way to build experience and get paid. Here are several steps you can take to quickly find jobs. Do your research. Reach out to your network and search online for gig opportunities. You can also search for jobs in your area with keywords based on your experience on Indeed, such as mover, driver, bartender, or stagehand. Find the best fit by filtering for salary, experience level, or job type. Consider related positions you may be able to apply your skills to other jobs you haven't yet considered but can find more quickly and easily. For example, if you typically find gigs as part of a stage setup crew, you might consider finding mover jobs for companies or individuals moving from home to home. Consider work for gig apps. There are many options available through online apps that allow you to quickly sign up and start working at your convenience, such as rideshare driving, food or grocery delivery, moving services, completing quick tasks, and more. Supplement with remote work. If you're finding it difficult to get gig work, you might also consider looking for remote or online work. There are many options available for people with little or no experience, such as data entry or transcribing audio files into written documents. If your company has asked you to work from home, working from home can be a challenging transition for some. Here are some ways you can make the most of working remotely. Consider what you'll need. Ask your employer if they will be providing any specific software or office equipment. Make a list of items you may need, such as power cables or notebooks. Set aside a separate space for work and create boundaries to avoid overworking, such as setting a rule to shut your computer down at a certain time each day. Find a quiet space. If you haven't worked at home before, the most important element is having a quiet space that is free from distractions. Find a place away from family, TV, and other noises, and ask your loved ones to respect this space and your work time. Be patient. It can be difficult to transition to a non-social home working environment. Learning How to balance your work and home life can be a challenge, so make sure to set fixed hours for working. Moreover, know that you may become lonely, even with virtual video meetings, so take measures to get out and socialize in a cautious, healthy way. Tips for staying positive, no matter your work circumstances. Here are a few basic practices to stay healthy and productive in the midst of COVID-19. 1. Remember what's most important. While a sudden shift in your employment, even if small, can feel alarming and confusing, be patient with yourself and those around you while adjusting, and remember that it's perfectly acceptable to prioritize the health of you and your loved ones. 2. Practice patience. This can be a stressful time, and while you may feel frustrated, it can help to feel empowered by taking action for yourself. When it comes to your job, between all the unanswered questions, figuring out the best steps to take in your specific circumstances, the important part: have patience with yourself, your employer, and those around you while we all figure out what's best. 3. Stay healthy. One of the most important aspects of staying healthy is reducing stress. Take time to focus on your mental and physical state by taking small actions such as going for a walk, drinking enough water, and getting enough sleep. Doing so will help you focus at work or set you up for success when finding new work.
Now that you have some examples and tips here, you are better prepared to join us and write your story. Ask whatever you want in the comments and we will do our best to answer you. I will have you in our next video. Bye for now.